Hi everybody, welcome back to GearGossip. Tonight I'm going to show you one of the more prominent pieces of equipment that I use for my reviews, and it's my double neck guitar that is called the Doublecharger, and it's made by Schwarz, Schwarz Custom in Neumarkt in the Oberpfalz, Bavaria, Germany. Doublecharger because it's based on the Charger model by Schwarz, and double because can't remember, beats me. The first thing that comes to everybody's mind if you see something like this is, well, it comes down to time. If you don't have the time to swap guitars, in the middle of a song like Hotel California, Stairway to Heaven, you have this 12-string, 6-string thing. 12-string, 6-string. You don't have the time to swap guitars, so you use a double neck. If you use alternate tunings, open, standard, and you would have to change guitars every second song, it's just too much of a hassle. You use a double neck, maybe. And for me, being in the review business, I use this for humbucker and single coil side. Two identical necks, humbuckers, single coils, and I can showcase any given piece of gear with humbuckers and single coils. That's the main reason. And the other thing that I use this guitar for is showcasing pickups, especially if pickups are not that much different, to put it like this. You run into trouble if you have to change guitars back and forth just to hear the differences, and you just can't remember, how was it up there with the other pickups? Back and forth, knocking over gear, get messed and tangled up in cables. It's just, no. That's why I use this guitar. And changing pickups is a breeze, because both sides are interchangeable. Ha ha ha. If I want to use, for example, my standard pickups, Duncan 59, and any other humbucker set, I use this spare part, kick out the single coils, kick in the other humbuckers, and do a good review by just clicking back and forth between two sides. Ha! No mess, no knocking over gear, no, how was that? It's just click. So much for the basic idea. And now from top to bottom. As I mentioned, both necks are identical. Maple neck, Goto Magnum Lock tuners, rosewood fretboard, and Ferdinand Wagner 9662 frets, jumbos. The neck shape, we are talking custom, so don't mistake this for Charger models have a big and heavy neck. My Charger model has a big and heavy neck, as heavy as it can get. This is the Esquire standard, also called half a baseball bat. Humbucker, custom-made bridge. More on this later. The body is swamp ash, and we have strap locks. Back on the other side, the same custom-made bridge, Duncan SSL2, single coils. And as I already mentioned, the neck is identical. This is, by the way, the only way to adjust a neck, in my opinion. Yeah, your mileage might vary. Showcasing pickups involves a huge amount of electrics in there. I will try to explain. There's one switch for changing the sides. Upper side, lower side. This switch is switching both sides simultaneously. Single coil, middle single coil, in between, bridge. And for humbuckers, it's humbucker, neck, both, bridge, and silent. Volume, double volume, and double tone. Double? There's two potties in there. One is 500 for humbuckers, and one is 250 for single coils. And with these two switches, I can decide which one to use for which side. So this is single coil for the lower and humbuckers for the upper side. And just for the fun of it, I decided that split and parallel options would be also very nice, so I can switch between series, split, and parallel mode for each humbucker in there. More features? Well, as you noticed, I managed to hold it up into the camera for some minutes, so it's not that heavy as you might expect. It's 5.2 kilos for a double neck. There's Les Pauls out there that are heavier. More features? Included in the package was this certificate of authenticity, and more important, spare pickguards, single coils humbuckers for each side, a toolbox with any sort of screwdriver and bit that you might need for adjusting this guitar, and all Allen keys that you might use to adjust this guitar, and some spare screws. 200 of them. So much for features. Now for action. I will try my very best to show you how it's done, because usually I would do this on a workbench or the floor and not holding it up into a camera. Humbug aside, first thing that you do is loosen the strings. We have it all. When I say loosen, I mean it really a lot, just to the point where you risk breaking them. And then we go for this custom-made bridge. You see where the strings are anchored? This comes off. Allen key. Won't come off in a hurry, I guess. All screws stainless steel, by the way. And in case you lose some of these, spare screws. We are talking pro gear after all, not pro mechanics, I'm afraid. And now the whole thing comes off. Dangle around, please. It's not that hard to do. Screwdriver. I may have to point out that the whole concept is not quick exchange. It's more like don't solder anything. It doesn't have to be quick. It has to be hassle-free. So, wenn ich jetzt noch wüsste, was Feingewinde-Schraube auf Englisch heißt. Oh. And that's a tight fit. Everything here is done with a computer. That's a proper shielding, I guess, as well on the cavities as on the pickguard. And these are, can you see this? Solderless connectors. All I need to do is memorize black, white, red, green. Come over here. Live view. This is Swoops. Disconnected. So now all I have to do is get out of the way of this dangling around strings and use the non-existent pickups for comparison and put them in there. It's as easy as that. The way back in is pretty much identical, just the other way. So next thing would be everything back on. Took me about 10 minutes. I think I already mentioned single coils in there are Semi-Duncan SSL2, so the most basic single coil they do, I think, non-stagger. And the neck. Nice sustain. Of course, 5 kilos. In between, and the jangly bridge. And the same thing, and that's the nice part of this guitar. Humbuckers. Complex chords. I guess I should have tuned that before. Complex chords again. Top-notch playability, great sustain. Some of you might whine, oh, top loader bridge, no strings through the body, killing sustain overtones. No. Sustain is over average. Some crunch maybe. Works. And it's not that I like these pickups that much, I just think they're the standard that's used out there. So I use it as a standard for my videos and comparisons. Sloppy me. And if I don't like this sound, I switch over to single coils. And the bridge. And my favorite. No more sounds. If you want to hear how my guitar sounds, watch my other videos, actually. Because we're talking a custom instrument, everything can change. If you want a mahogany guitar, you will get a mahogany guitar. If you want to have different pickups, you will get different pickups. That's why we are talking a custom builder. It's not about me wanting you to run off and buy a Doubleneck. No, but if you want to have a custom instrument, something built to your specs, maybe a Doubleneck, baritone, maybe a... I don't know, it's up to you. You might want to give Mr. Schwarz a try. Because what I can tell you is, the instrument is top-notch. There's nothing that it's not aligned. It's pretty perfect. The design process was pretty pro, to put it like this. JPEGs, drawings, color samples, styrofoam prototypes for ergonomics. Ha! And me being present when all these shapings were done. Just check. More, less, less. Pretty funny. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. And this guy actually answers the phone after he gets half of the money. There's others out there, I tell you. A fun part are these screws. He had to order 2,000 of them for one guitar. Yeah, but he did. Well, that's pro. Everything that is not stock, like these bridges, is done on the computer and built to my specs. And he managed to build a Doubleneck that is way below 6 kilos. Yeah, that's it. That's the way it's supposed to be. More? The link would be schwarzcustom.de. And yeah, for more gear reviews, stay tuned or bookmark geargossip.com. See you.